a U.S. national championship. This year, it is the first stop on the road to the Atlanta Olympic Games. Since the last Olympics, 3 gymnasts have earned the title of U.S. champion. The youngest ever, Dominique Moceanu. The history maker, Dominique Dawes. And the most decorated of them all, Shannon Miller. Shannon came out of nowhere to become America's greatest. Then, she dominated the world for 2 years. Even though injuries and age caught up with her. Miller's focus never wavered. And in the first round of this championship, she is the leader. We are in Knoxville, Tennessee, along the shores of the Tennessee River. Today, we welcome you to the Thompson Bowling Arena, the site of the 1996 U.S. National Gymnastics Championships. Hi everybody, I'm John Tesh. With a little more than a month to go before the Atlanta Olympic Games, we find ourselves once again with a young lady who has already attained superstar status. She is on the cover of countless sports magazines, she has been on the cover of fashion magazines, and now this, her own autobiography at the tender age of 14, Dominique Moceanu, an American champion. So there's pressure that's been brought to bear by herself, by people like us, and by that road to Atlanta. I want to bring in one of our expert commentators, Elfie Schlegel. Elfie, let's talk about the state of Dominique.
Well, John, she became the darling when she won the national championships last year, the youngest ever. She then went on to become the highest-ranked American at the World Championships, adding more credibility to her gymnastics. So can she win here today? Absolutely, but the pressure is enormous. Dominique has to deal with not only defending her title, but making the U.S. Olympic team and living up to the star that she's become.
All right, Elfie, thank you. Let's go over to Tim Daggett for a moment. Tim, years ago it was thought that female gymnasts were too old at 19, but no more.
Well, that's exactly right, John. 4 years ago, everyone was asking the question, can the veterans, Dawes, Miller, and Struck, can they hold on? Well, just a few weeks out from the Olympic Games, at this point in time, they all have a very good shot. The person who's had the most criticism, the most naysayers along the road has been Shannon Miller. Well, she's come out strong, and she has got something to prove.
All right, the standings after the compulsories, you see Shannon and Dominique 1-2, followed by J.C. Phelps and Carrie Strug down there in 5th place, Amanda Borden in 4th. Our first competitor that we're going to see today is going to be Shannon Miller on the balance beam.
Good. Okay, Peggy, we're going to go.
And you'll always hear, right in her ear, her coach, Steve Nuno. She is a crowd favorite here, incredible on this event. She won a gold medal at the 94 World Championships on the balance beam. And a silver medal, of course, at the 92 Games.
A little something funny happening in that move.
Yeah, it's almost like just a little bit of nerves, and we don't see that from Shannon, just a slight correction in that handstand.
Now remember, at last year's national championships, Shannon fell off this event. Here's a new move.
Her chances to compete in the Olympics appeared in jeopardy when she dislocated her left elbow, and doctors had to put in a micro screw to repair it. And and she is off the beam, which will be a major deduction.
Major deduction, 0.5, and last year fell on the same series, only she had 3 layouts. Big, big mistake.
You know, Elfie, for so long, Shannon has been considered such a rock in competition, especially on the balance beam, but she has really struggled as of late.
We've also heard many gymnasts say they prefer not to start on the balance beam.
This is an event that can really make or break your competition, and in this case, it doesn't bode well for Shannon Miller.
Well, she's got to shake it off now and prepare for her dismount.
Strong lift. Strong landing now. Stick it. Now bring it up. Bring it up tall. And stick. Pop. And stick. Stick. Yeah!
Ooh, her score a 9-3. That's not the kind of score that's going to win a national championship.
No, she's definitely not happy with that. A fall, anytime you have a fall.
Big stuff, you know? Okay, well, that's what you came here to do all the skills, you get them all in. Now let's go for it.
Up next, Shannon's former training partner, Carrie Strug.
Carey, of course, a two-time Olympian, or hoping to be a second-time Olympian. This was a big year so far for Carey, winning her first major international event at the American Cup. She's starting on a very strong apparatus for Carey.
Yeah, she won this event at the 91 and 92 U.S. Championships. Her first vault. Oh, big step.
Way too much rotation on that. Characteristic of Carey Strug, unfortunately.
It was good. It was good. Stay hollow with it at the second. And
She always...
There was a big repulsion. Second gonna be good, but stay with it. Nice.
You know what Bella's talking about there. See, she's planning to do a more difficult vault where you need more power. And this one, you can see right here, she definitely has a tremendous amount of push off the horse. She's way in the air. Too much rotation for this vault.
We should explain this. The women in this competition get 2 vaults, and you are allowed to keep the higher score. That 9.625 she owns right now. If she can do a better performance this time, she'll get that score.
John, as Tim said, she's planning to do a much more difficult vault. This one has a start value of 10.0.
She'll need that extra power. Oh!
Much better second vault. I don't know why she didn't throw that the first time around.
That's a great vault. Lots of power. The first vault, she leaves the horse and she does a half twist. This one, she adds a complete full twist to that, 1.5 twists. Gets her arms out to the side and just that small hop to the landing, but a really strong start for Carey Strug.
Remember 4 years ago, a 9.825, so a good score for that second vault at 14, the youngest American she was, representing the U.S. at the 92 Olympics. 16-year-old Christy Powell from Colorado Springs. She's getting set for the vault. And remember, as a 12-year-old, she was one of Bella Caroli's pupils, but she left after 2 years to pursue what she now calls a new way of coaching. I'm not sure if that's a rip of Bella, but we've heard that before.
Planning to do the same second vault again. The start value is at a full 10.0.
She has an intense face.
Oh, huge vault.
Now, what about that step, though?
Big step on the landing, as you said, John, but it was a dynamic vault. She just flew off of that horse.
Again, we'll take the highest score from both of those vaults as you watch the replay.
I think I agree with Tim. This was definitely much better in the air, more powerful. Look at the height, cranks the 1.5 twist, opens up for the landing. Still the step. She's going to have to really work on that.
Her first score for the first vault was a 9.80. And a 9.850 for Christy Powell. So that is, so far in this rotation, the highest score we've seen for anyone. Dominique Moceanu on the vault. We spent some time with her yesterday, and I think she is, didn't you guys think, as talkative as any 14-year-old, and really very forthcoming for a gymnast. They're usually quite quiet.
You get a whole lot of information from Dominique. She's quite a treat to talk to. She seems a lot more serious this time around. I think she's finally realizing the pressure. This is what it comes down to, and there's that look in her eyes. It's not quite there.
She seems serious, and Bella seems taut. I think she's very much aware that she's going to be part of the great Bella Caroli legacy. Her first vault.
It's a nice vault. It's worth a 10.0. She performed it very well. Lots of height, good twisting action. Again, not a perfect landing.
Down a little bit in there, just the same rhythm. Hold it out, and the snap strong good. Okay. Work it from your arms more from your arms.
You hear what Bella's saying there. Work it from your arms. And
stay down.
She has a little bit of a technical error when she enters the horse. She hits with what we call a shoulder angle. You'll see it right here. Her arms aren't totally over her head, so she can't get quite the bounce off the horse. See, she has a little bit of an angle there. Doesn't get the same bounce that we saw from maybe Christy Powell a little bit earlier.
Let's see what she's got for a score here. Her first vault, a 9.750. Now, will she do the same vault?
She'll do the same second vault, and to increase that score, she needs to nail the landing.
Oh, big step.
And you know, Tim, the same problems you spoke of on the first vault happened again.
Missed that. Missed that, okay. Go up, put the bar, ready for bar.
Yeah, this is not what Bella Caroli wants. Obviously, he's looking for near perfection when you're competing at this level, especially gearing up for the games. But look right here, once again, even a bigger angle on the horse. But this is the big problem. Huge hop forward. No way that's going to get a bigger score.
Remember, her first score was a 9.75, so yeah, 9.70 for the second fall, so she'll keep that first score. Well, J.C. Phelps is up next. At the 1995 Nationals, she finished a surprising third behind Dominique Moceanu and Shannon Miller.
Great start for the competition for JC. This is one of her strongest events. Should be an easy one for her. A couple of great release skills planned. First one right here. She fell on it in warm-up. No problem.
This is, of course, one of the last two big competitions before the Olympic Games. There is this, and then the top 14 women will advance to the Olympic trials in Boston later this month.
John, a new dismount for JC. She unveiled this at the World Championships in Puerto Rico earlier this year. Great routine. She's right on.
JC now trains with Amanda Borden in Cincinnati.
I mean, lost a little bit on the dismount on the step, but it was everything else felt really good. Nice stuff.
A 9.80 on the bars, which that puts her in the lead ahead of Moceanu and Miller. And that may be the first time she's ever led those two in a major competition like this. Dominique Dawes prepares for her bars routine. We should tell you that in the compulsory round, this Olympian had a very rough time of it. We mentioned that earlier. And at 10th place entering these optionals, she will be digging herself out of a deep hole.
This was not a pretty sight for Dominique in the compulsory exercises. There are very specific moves in this routine. There is absolutely no improvising allowed.
And that's where it happened. She did an extra giant swing. It's a huge deduction.
Those compulsories count a full 60%.
And it didn't end there. On this free hip hecht, more form deductions. It was a nightmare for Dominique.
Then earlier today, Dominique struggled during practice. She was missing almost everything. You can see it on her face. She spent most of the afternoon in tears. And it's not a great confidence builder for the real thing. And so those are the memories that Dominique Dawes carries into this, her final performance for the all-around competition on the bars, at least. You cannot count her out, though. She was 4th at the Olympic trials in '92. Last year, she finished 4th at the Nationals, and that was with an injured wrist. So we will see here if she can shake it off.
John, you're absolutely right. We cannot count her out. This routine has the potential to score big time. It has the potential to win a medal at the Olympic Games. It's that good. But I don't know where her head is at. Big combination of skills right here, leading into this very exciting release skill. We'll soon know.
Oh, she's got it. That skill was what was giving Dominique all the problems in training earlier.
Just the dismount.
Boy, the crowd knows it. They've got these little signs with 10 written on what they're holding up.
It was just like there was no problem at all for Dominique Dawes.
That was the old Dominique. She's back. It was spectacular. It was awesome. Thank goodness she woke up from that terrible nightmare this morning, but this was absolutely incredible. The free hip to the high bar in combination to what Tim said earlier, one of the most incredible release skills. She does this the best that I've ever seen any athlete perform. Check out the height.
Just watch where her hips are relative to the bar. Look at how high she is in the air.
And the score from the judges is a 9.90, 1/10 away from perfection for Dominique Dawes. And that is the highest score we've had in the optionals thus far. I don't think she even knows what the score is. J.C. Phelps, Dominique Moceanu, Shannon Miller, 1, 2, 3, the two veterans chasing the newcomer as Shannon Miller prepares for Forex. Remember, a 9.30 on the beam. Everybody turning in 9.9s, 9.8s, 9.7s. This is a huge performance for her right now. We've left Steve Nuno's, her coach's, mic open.
This is a new tumbling pass.
Yes! Come on, baby! Legs tight, clean form, and good girl, and yes! Beautiful. Take command of it. Beautiful. Come on now, Shan. Tight body forward, and straight. Yeah! Woo! Gotta go. Come on, resting. Come on, rest it up. Bring it up now. Come on, let's go. Come on, power, Shannon. Bring it up. Bring it up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Yes!
Ladies and gentlemen, 19-year-old Shannon Miller from Delaware Gymnastics in Edmond, Oklahoma.
Good girl. That's what we're looking forward to. That's what we're looking forward to.
It does not get any better than that.
That was a great routine. If you think she's not ready for Atlanta, think again. New music, new tumbling,
That's how you do it.
4
Thank
tumbling
you.
passes in this routine. Awesome.
And you know,
That's how you do it.
Steve Nuno, Coach Steve Nuno, has been telling me Shannon was going to do this mount for 5 years now. Every time we get to the meet, she holds back a little bit, but finally here's a double laid out somersault from Shannon Miller. Pretty darn good.
And this was her 4th tumbling pass. Incredible. Remember, she's 19 years old. Takes a lot of adrenaline to get this one around. This was a move she used to start with. Full twisting, double back. But check this out. This was impressive.
All right, here's Steve Nuno's reaction on camera. You heard him yell. There it is without the sound. I love this guy. As a fellow New Yorker, I just love him. He's tremendous. There couldn't be a better cheerleader or a better coach, really. A 9.90, another one. Boy, after the 9.3, that is just tremendous.
Good posture, tight stomach.
Here's J.C. Phelps as she gets set for her beam routine.
All right.
And you know, you can
Do you want me
feel
to
it
pull
out
the
here.
board, or
You
you want
can
me to
hear
leave
it in the
there? Leave
stands.
it in there. All right.
Who is this 16-year-old who is now beating the defending national champions? Let's go down to the gym floor now and Beth Rouillet.
It's a great night for any great gymnast, poised for a national title, on her way to an Olympics team, her family here to cheer her on. We are not talking about Dominique Moceanu, we are talking about J.C. Phelps. And even her teammate Amanda Borden says she came from nowhere. And in fact, if you take a look back at 1993, she did, because J.C. was 14 and she wouldn't even let her parents come to the arena to watch her compete.
Well, I didn't have real good self-esteem after that because I sort of went in and embarrassed myself because I fell all over the place. And I ended up 24th as a junior. I wanted to quit after that.
She had the attitude like, who would want to coach me? I'm only 24th as a junior. We just asked her to please give another coach a try.
Warm up your passes on the floor, not in the pit, be ready to go.
She wasn't tough. She didn't think she was good. You know, she had no self-esteem. She had no idea how good she was.
By the time J.C. found Mary Lee Tracy, her parents had already changed their lives because of their daughter's talent. Today, J.C.'s family lives apart. Her father and brother in Indiana, she and her mother in Cincinnati. For a while, it seemed everyone was moving to new homes, and J.C. was lonely and waiting for her mom to move to Cincinnati. This is the apartment close to Mary Lee's gym that J.C. and her mother live in now. Her brother comes for visits. For JC's Gymnastics, this is the home that they gave up.
You know, it was a nice home we had. It was a two-story home out in the country.
We had a garden out back and apple trees and flowers around the house. You always planted flowers. So I miss those kinds of things, yeah.
Well, I think it's a real honor that my family has the support and the love and the caring that they have for me, but I don't think that really puts pressure on me. I mean, I want to do well because I know all the sacrifices they've made, but I don't put extra pressure on myself because I know whatever I do, they'll back me up whatever I do.
Her parents are Jack and Cheryl. That's where she gets the JC. This sport is rough on families. It separates them, it makes them broke, and sometimes it makes dreams come true. JC Phelps has never before been leading the best in the United States, and that's where she is right now as she prepares for her balance beam routine.
She starts with a very tricky element, that front somersault onto the beam. Like you said, she hasn't been in this spot before. It's clutch time.
And you know something, Tim? The last time JC did this balance beam routine on the podium was at the World Championships in Puerto Rico, and she fell off.
Strength, strength, and up.
Near miss on that layout.
Actually, I believe she's supposed to do 3 layouts, but kind of stumbled after that first one just a little bit. Remarkable that she was able to stay on the beam.
Stomach. Smooth, and up. Good. Up. Good.
She always looks so calm and so focused on this event, but this was the move she fell on. Coming up very shortly at the World Championships, a front summy. Coming up in this line right here.
Arms.
Same as her mount.
Stomach. Arms. Up.
Dead on.
Good.
To remind you, there are 4 events going on at once here. That's why you hear someone's floor exercise
Push.
playing behind her beam routine.
Handstand. Handstand.
The thing that's so great about JC is you see it right here. She has a wonderful line.
Good.
Great knees, great
Give her
toes,
strength. Come on, Jane.
beautiful form.
And she has the skills to go along with all of that. She's a
Good
real
aggressive.
package in women's gymnastics. Here's a big
Aggressive.
dismount.
Aggressive.
2 back handsprings, double back.
Her coach knows it, she knows it. And so does Amanda Borden.
That one I could see it, weren't you? All right, you did a good job.
Her dad is still wringing his hands, of course.
Legs were shaky on that layout.
A 9.750, a great score. This should give her that self-esteem that her mom believes she once lost in this sport. JC Phelps still in the lead. We're in Knoxville, Tennessee, where Amanda Borden is currently in 4th place. She's getting set for her floor exercise.
She's going back to some fun music, a 50s style piece of music that she feels is better suited for international competition.
I think it's better suited for Amanda as well, though. Just her overall personality really fits quite well.
Come on, buddy. Give her strength.
Oh, a little over rotation. That's a 0.1 deduction out of bounds.
Come on, like the power. Let it go. Come on. Come on, Amanda. Good snap down. Good snap down. Squeeze your stomach. And up. Good. Come
19-year-old Amanda Borden. Just narrowly missed, as I mentioned earlier, going to the Olympic Games back in 1992.
Good job.
Well, obviously the biggest error in the exercise was when she went out of bounds there, a little bit too much power. Just so you folks know at home, though, although Mary Lee Tracy is mic'd, Amanda can't hear her through this exercise, but Mary Lee's sending those vibes out, almost willing her to do it, but she willed her a bit too much power right here. Too much rotation. As Elfie said, she steps out of bounds. That's a 1/10 of a point deduction.
And her score of 9.650 would have been a 9.750 had she not stepped out. Here's Jenny Thompson, who will be vaulting. You see there, she's in 8th place. 9.075 for Christy Powell.
John, Jenny's been having a really good competition thus far. Her scores have been good this year in all her competitions. As I said, she's really trying to move up the ladder. But a simple vault, this vault value you can see right there is only out of a 9.8.
Yeah, this has really been Jenny's biggest nemesis.
A little slow coming to the horse, and that's why you're a little on the front of the horse, okay? You're a little too hollow, and that's why you took the step. Make sure that if you're on the front of the horse, this straight body.
Well, you know,
I'm going to make a decision here based on the score.
A lot of athletes, we're listening to Steve Nuno. We're going to make the decision when he sees the score.
Okay.
A lot of the athletes are using the first ball almost as a warm-up.
And the luxury of this competition, the rules say she can take the best of the two.
Come on, Jenny, get it up there. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on. Get it up. Get it. Get it. Yes! All right! Atta girl!
Steve Nuno is busy after cheerleading and coaching for Shannon Miller, and now he's with Jenny.
Beautiful.
Well, she went with the bigger vault, big smile at the end. Value was worth a 10.0, so she added the extra twist and a bigger score.
She has been described as part Retin, part Nadia, both former proteges of Bella Caroli. This is Dominique Moceanu. She seems much older than her 14 years.
You know, last year she had a fixed smile on her face. She had that fire in her eyes. You just knew she was going to win this event. I don't see it this time around. It's almost a scared, worried, just not sure about this routine.
Which would describe the demeanor of Bella as well, as you see him in the center of your screen there.
Big tumbling series here, 3 layouts in a row. She's solid on that one.
When we talk to Bella, he says to us, and I quote, "I can see in front of me what I saw when Nadia was a little girl. It is frighteningly similar."
Just a small check on that ending of her front tuck.
This is a pretty veteran-like performance, though, right here.
You know, I mentioned earlier in the program the pressure that this little girl has, and you have to use those words again, little girl, because at 14, I don't know too many 14-year-olds who were on the cover of fashion magazines.
Let's remind everybody about the shin splint. She is suffering a nagging injury, and who knows how much that's playing on her mind. Just the dismount.
Stay.
That's a relief.
Welcomed off the podium by Marta Caroli, her beam coach.
The only major mistake in the exercise was that hop on the landing, but I love this right here. It's maybe not all that difficult, but this is what gymnastics really needs. It needs some different stuff. And I guarantee you, you'll have a couple of 7-year-olds trying to do that probably on the edge of your table, so watch out at home, Mom.
She gets it naturally. Dominique's parents were born in Romania, where her dad, Dimitri, was a member of the junior national team, and her mom was a level 10 gymnast.
Of course, she capped off the routine with this round of double tuck dismount. Relatively easy for Dominique. Sends it fairly high, looks for the landing. Small hop, have to clean that up.
Let's see what we have for a score here. See her taping her shins there and her ankle. A 9.80, so a good score. Now it's time for J.C. Phelps,
1.5, yes.
who finds herself in the enviable and for her the unusual position of being our leader.
And you know, she is well equipped to deal with this. The first thing that struck me when I saw J.C. Phelps was how cool a competitor she was. She competed in her first World Championships. It was one of her first major competitions. She did fantastic. So she knows how to deal with the pressure.
Pick it up. Good. Come on, Jace. Push through. Push through. All right. Come on, Jace. Come on, buddy. Nice face. Come on, bud. Come on. Come on. Come on. Patience. Feel the floor. Feel the floor. Patience. That's all right. Come on. Come on. Come on. Up. Come on. Strong arms. Strong arms. Strength. Come on, power, Chase. Come on, power, power, power. Pull. Stay in. All right. All right, Jay.
I think the coaching is as entertaining as the performances.
It always is. You know, John, you talked about her being in a great position leading this competition, but I guarantee you one thing, she has no idea where she is at this point in time. She's just out there to do what she does in the gym every single day.
I think it would be too much pressure for them all to know, with Shannon and Dominique and JC all locked in that three-way race.
Well, you have to remember, in gymnastics, there's no defense, only offense. You don't really need to know what your competitor is doing. Here's a double front somersault, very difficult because it's a blind landing. She lands a little bit hard on that, actually. Mary Lee asked her after the routine, "You're back okay?" And
They gave you the 10
no problem.
Start. So they must
And a
give you the
9.8, which should keep her in the lead. Over on the other side of the gym is Shannon Miller, who is just behind J.C. Phelps,
A straight body over the top, stuck.
who had a dismal beam with a 9.3 and then came back
Come on
with
now,
a
Shannon,
rousing
good strong
floor
run.
exercise performance. Steve Nuno at the other end of this runway, coaching her on.
Come on, come on, come on. Now bring it up. Get up, get up. Strong, strong, and thick. Yeah!
That was incredible.
That's how you do that one.
You're right, Steve. That's exactly how you do that one.
She knows it, and she's trying to be humble. It's not working.
Okay, that was just a warm-up. I need more
She looked like a little...
Listen
no
to
holding
her.
back. Let's get it down there. Let's nail it, okay? Up and over the top. Stick it, okay? Up and over the top now. Like you're doing it in the bit. Let's get it up and over the top. Change the vault.
This report just in, she has lost partial hearing in her right ear.
John, those were important words right there because she's planning to do something totally different for her second vault. This vault's only out of a 9.9. So she needs to get the maximum out of this vault, and she sure comes close to doing that.
She looked a little bit like a lawn dart.
Big ball now, Shannon. Come on.
She has a 9.8 in the bank.
I'll pop it up there. Get up, get it, get it, get it. Come on, get it. Yeah!
Wow.
Oh, is that big? Oh, hey! That's how you do it. You're coming back and strong. Strong landing. Atta girl. Atta
Polite
girl,
applause
huh?
from J.C. Phelps, who was waiting for the score.
Grips on right away. Let's go.
Steve had a double cappuccino this morning.
A 9.90 for Shannon Miller. I didn't think she could do any better than that 9.8, but that's incredible. Well, Shannon Miller is back. .050 separates her from J.C. Phelps. Dominique Moceanu finds herself in third, chasing two fantastic gymnasts. The question now is, will she be able to defend her title?
Well, if she has the shot to do that, she has to be basically flawless.
Strong, remember, strong. Go strong! Strong! One more time!
Ladies and gentlemen, the crowd loves it, Bella loves it. A 9.8, I'm surprised. I would have expected a little bit more.
Floor team wasn't difficult enough. She really needed that more difficult first tumbling pass. The start value was only a 9.9. That's what she was working from.
So with one last performance, JC Phelps finds herself in first place.
Before we see if JC can stay on top and hold off an emerging Shannon Miller, let's take a look at the intense battle waged by the men.
Countless hours have molded John Roethlisberger into a four-time national champion. Today, his nemesis, Blaine Wilson. Wilson chasing down the title and the man. On the road to Atlanta.
The 1996 U.S. Men's Championships proved to be a test of power, determination, as well as skill, with only the top 14 finishers qualifying for the Olympic trials. A gutsy Scott Keswick came back from a potentially career-ending injury to make the cut. The aesthetic and talented Mihai Beju fought his way to a 7th place finish. Heading into his final routine, Bill Roth was sitting in 11th place and primed for the trials. Then, the unthinkable happened when he fell twice on the pommel horse. It dropped him to 16th place and out of the trials. The competition soon became a two-man battle between the youngster, Blaine Wilson, seeking his first national title, and the veteran, John Roethlisberger, vying for his 5th.
John, if I had to guess at this point, who has the edge? Blaine Wilson's strongest event is still rings, and John Roethlisberger, although he can bring in a big score on P-bars, I have seen him struggle on this event. I just wonder if John knows how close this competition actually is.
I have to believe, with his father as the coach, and we've seen him going over the results over there on the sidelines, he knows all too well what he has to do. The Olympic experience firmly in Roethlisberger's mind. I had the pleasure, the opportunity a couple of weeks back of being in Minneapolis with him. We were performing and he brought the Olympic torch on stage and lit the flame right there in his hometown, and they went crazy. He knows how big a deal this is in Atlanta.
John needs a routine with no mistakes, and there have been no major mistakes so far. Little bit off balance though, just the dismount. Nice routine. Nice routine. Actually, John, he altered his exercise a little bit, maybe feeling a bit of the pressure. He took out an element, and I really don't know if that was such a good call.
As good as you could do, bud. That was a very good job. Huh?
How close is it?
To what?
First and second.
0.075.
That answers the question as to whether or not they're talking about it.
You know, a lot of times you have to remember in gymnastics there is no defense. So you basically go out there and do the very best routine that you can do.
You did a hell of a job, John.
I think
all
John
can tell you.
knows. I don't know that. I would not like to be in his position right now.
Probably impossible.
His position, Tim, is that he must sit down after completing his last of 6 events and watch now to see if Blaine Wilson can take it away from him.
Well, like I said, this is a good routine for John. But when you stack it up against Blaine Wilson on rings, this is going to be interesting. I wouldn't say this is going to get a big score here.
Huh? I don't know.
Oh, you called that one right.
Well, you know, I didn't think it was going to get a big score, but I didn't think it'd get a 9-1-5 either. While Blaine prepared for the rings, John's father and coach, Fred Roethlisberger, filed a protest and got a rare score change, bringing John's parallel routine up to a 9.55. This set the stage for Blaine. A score of 9.65 or better, and he will replace John Roethlisberger as the U.S. national champion. This is not a cakewalk, John. Although it's a great event for Blaine. It's a low-scoring event. Watch this here, though. He'll push up to a planche. Just a dismount between Blaine and a national title. That'll do it. That will do it right there. He gets to do it all over again in just a few more weeks. Just a little bit of strain on that face there. He's already done so much strength at that point. But this is where he puts that exclamation mark right there. Double twisting double.
Watch for the score. He needs a 9.65 to win. And a 9.80 on the ring. So Blaine Wilson is the new National Gymnastics all-around champion, taking it away in a battle that had him in 2nd place the entire meet until this very moment.
You're the best gymnast in the country. For now.
A look at the final standings and also the bubble down there. 14th place, of course, will go. But again, as we told you, 16th place, Bill Roth will not make a trip to the Olympic trials. Here's a look at the rest of the national team. 8th place through 14th place. They all will be going to the trials in Boston.
Now back to the women's competition, where JC Phelps is holding a slim lead over Shannon Miller. Each has one routine to go. JC's up first, and she's on the vault.
Here's a family who has sacrificed so much for her to get here today. She only sees her dad maybe every weekend, maybe every other weekend. They've put their family in hock to pay for her training.
We haven't seen too many vaulters in the competition today stick their landings. That's going to be a crucial factor for the American team.
Boy, this has got to be tough waiting for this. Shannon's still to come on the bars.
Come on, Jay.
It's a 9.725, so it's not a terrific score.
JC's second vault, not as good as the first one, which really opened the door for Shannon Miller.
Steve Nuno, Shannon Miller, these two have been an amazing team. All the world, national, and Olympic medals they've come away with. 9.775 on the uneven parallel bars. Her last routine would give her the championship. If she can't get that, it will go to JC Phelps.
And the pressure is not only to perform right here, right now, but how will the wrist take it?
Top of the show, we saw Shannon in tears, and that was tears of pain. So far, no problem here, though.
Come on, girl. Regal. Later. And straight, buddy. Straight, straight, straight.
Yeah! Yes, girl! Oh, you did it. You did it. Wait for the crowd, baby. Okay.
What an amazing performance after that 9.3, the disaster on the beam, and then the rest of the meet for her has been perfect.
Thought it was downhill after the balance beam routine, but it just got better and better, and this routine was fantastic. I think she's wrapped this one up, John.
Keep this number in your mind, 9.775, as the judges put their scores together. That's what she needs to be the national champion, and J.C. Phelps will wait along with her as we take a look at one of the replays.
Absolutely incredible routine. The form was bang on. The skill level was very, very high. This is one of the moves that Shannon made famous. In fact, it's called a Miller. It's a giant swing into a hop full, right up on the bar after this giant swing, and then she moves into her release skill. And you'd think this would cause a lot of problems on her wrist, but you know, I don't think she was thinking about that wrist injury during this routine. Great combination right there.
But you know, the thing that really impressed me about this routine was the dismount. As of late, she has really been struggling, actually stopped doing this dismount, couldn't get 2 flips around anymore. But this is amazing. Double laid out somersault. And the truly amazing thing is she really shouldn't have made it, but she just drives those feet to the ground, and it's a great landing on top of it.
And the score, a 9.850, so Shannon Miller has done it. 1996 national champion entering the Olympic Games, and look at her, she doesn't know yet.
Yeah,
I don't
she
think
has
Steve
no
knows
idea.
yet.
Have fun. It's fun, you know?
He's saying it's fun.
There's the smile.
You thought it was going to be a lousy meet here. It wasn't going to be any fun, you know? Here you are. We tried too hard to not have any fun today.
Here's a look at the final standings. Carrie Strug in 5th. Christy Powell was in 6th. Dominique Dawes in 7th. Shannon Miller, once again our national champion.